raped on a public train, and authorities say none of her fellow passengers did anything to help.
Nobody said nothing. Nobody did anything. That's ridiculous.
It's disgusting.
That's awful. What's wrong with people?
The alleged rape occurred last week on board an Upper Darby-bound train. Police say surveillance video shows other riders in the train car during the attack who did nothing.
It's disturbing that there were definitely people on the L, and no one intervened or did anything to help this woman out.
How are you going to sit there and watch a woman be defiled? Like, are you watching it while it's happening? I mean, I get there's different dynamics in different neighborhoods and different cultures, but we are all human beings. I mean, well, let me rephrase that. We're all living this human being experience. So it's just a little disturbing when there can be somebody that didn't even call 911. Like, forget the fact that you should probably be like, hey buddy, the fuck are you doing? And more people than one person should stand up so there's numbers against him.
According to the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, it wasn't until a train employee saw what was happening and called police that help arrived. Officials say transit officers caught the man in the act and arrested him.
That lady didn't have to go through what she had to go through, and so she could have a little bit more faith in humanity. Think about how that lady feels now. Not only did she get defiled, but people sat there and let it fucking happen to her. How do you think that's going to affect her emotionally, mentally, spiritually? Whether people want to admit it or not, that's an impactful thing. The fact that, I mean, it's not like, and until they come out and tell me this motherfucker had a gun and he was up in the air with a gun pointing it at everybody while he was... My heart goes out to that lady. And I'm sending her infinite healing and positive energy. Infinite healing and positive energy. Because no matter what happened to her, and no matter who didn't do what, she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that. I mean, in the future, we're going to understand what's going to come out of this.
This is why we have this man in custody. If they weren't present there, that man would have walked off, and who knows, we would have found him.
35-year-old Kristen Inouye is now in jail, charged
Ew.
with rape and assault.
That's ridiculous.
The alleged victim, who police say did not know the attacker, was treated at a nearby hospital and is doing okay, according to police. The transit authority saying the attack may not have gone on as long had a bystander taken action.
If I put myself in her shoes, I wouldn't have wanted people to just be on looking. I know I would have felt like, oh, I mean nothing to anybody. I'm not even a human to anybody looking. These people are the ones that should have did something. I don't know about the service on the train, like how many of those people had cell phones. There's a lot of factors, I mean, that could come into play where, you know, maybe they couldn't have reached out for help. But the probability of the fact of the matter is that they probably had a chance to call 911 or even step in. How many men were on that plane? How many fucking men were on that plane? Was it a plane?
Or train, I'm sorry. Train. How many men sat there and let another man do that to a woman?
How many? How many of you were men? Well, clearly there was no men on there.
Because nobody did shit to step in to help, basically, a damsel in distress.
This is not Yosemite Sam. This is Philly.
Anyway, that was pretty upsetting. But, you know.
Make sure that you keep yourself protected if you're a single lady traveling by yourself, or even in a pack of friends, acquaintances. If you live somewhere like that, try to protect yourself. You really shouldn't have to put forethought into these things because people shouldn't be shitty. But protect yourself. No matter no matter what. You protect yourself and your energy.
Writing in a statement, there were other people on the train who witnessed this horrific act, and it may have been stopped sooner if a rider called 911. A spokesperson for the transit line urging anyone who witnesses an emergency on board to call 911 immediately. A reminder many riders aren't taking lightly.
We just need to know that if we were in that position, we want someone to help.
If you see something, say something.
NBC News Now correspondent Priscilla Thompson joins us here in studio. Priscilla, are authorities looking for any of these bystanders?
Well, police say they are watching those tapes to see who was there, how long they were there, and to try to identify some of those folks. Police told our NBC affiliate that this victim was unconscious for part of the attack. So we're hoping those bystanders can help to piece together what exactly happened. So investigators are saying if you were there, call the Upper Darby Township Police and report it to them immediately.
How did this even start is what I want to know. Like, there's a whole bunch of people on a subway train, right? So there's a victim, there's a perpetrator. There has to be, in my mind, at least 4 to 10 onlookers. Hey, Leo. Would you have helped that lady? Yes, because you're a chivalrous man. Yes, you are. You're very valiant. You would have helped that lady. Hey. Welcome back.
Sam, what do you think about today's story, Sam? About the lady in the subway train and nobody helped her. Yeah, nobody helped her. Why do you think that is? Because sometimes people are shitty. Sometimes people think more about their own safety, too. Which, in some circumstances, is the right thing. But not in this one. Until I find out how many people were on that train and what the exact circumstances, I'll remain on the fence. But my grand opinion is basically, what the fuck?
I think I smell the coffee being ready. And I'm the type of person that if it's not ready and there's enough to pour a cup, it's happening. Well, now, the coffee. The coffee. I'm still just drinking.
Devalia coffee today. But
You know, I'm gonna look up some other coffee that pertains to the setting of our story. It's not gonna be coffee about defiling, but maybe some local Philadelphia coffee brands. Nobody helped her. That poor woman.
Right now, drive a nice maneuver car for just a dime down. Which puts me in a real pickle.
We did it as a lark. We did it to give some exposure to our dealership. And and it succeeded at that.
During a segment on local car commercials a few months ago, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver included a clip featuring Johnson dressed in a pickle suit.
But they did make us a promise. They said, what we're going to do is not illegal, it's not immoral, and it won't offend anybody. And I said, okay, with that, then we'll go ahead and do it.
Storms coming any minute now.
I want a divorce.
So Johnson and his crew created a 90-second spot from Oliver's script while husband and wife had marriage problems after they bought a minivan.
You're impossible. You take up too much space. Like ours Broda Ford minivan that can barely fit in the garage.
And even though the shite.
I mean, come on. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. I still don't believe it.
It's incredible. It's the biggest exposure I think I've been a part of, and it's very exciting, mind-blowing to say the least.
It's always the architect with you, isn't it, Kevin?
Johnson says the ad is running this week in Rochester.
Couples therapy, schmupples therapy.
Time to go. Come on. Come on.